The carbon emissions from the international aviation and shipping sectors are no individual country's responsibility. Because of this, when thinking about how to cut CO2 across all sectors, aviation and shipping often get grouped together, but in fact they face very different challenges but also opportunities in terms of reducing their CO2. For shipping, there are lots of ways in which we can cut CO2, lots of different technologies, and we could also add more technologies to ships without there being a significant efficiency penalty. And there are also the option of alternative fuels. Furthermore, ships can travel more slowly, which reduces their energy requirements and also makes it more attractive for renewable technologies such as sails and Flettner rotors. But the biggest barrier to mitigation within the shipping sector is its complexity. In contrast, the aviation industry is much more simply structured, but the technologies are much more mature. Aircraft are very efficient. They use advanced materials such as composites and they're extremely well designed. So there are fewer opportunities to make further big cuts in CO2. There is the option of alternative fuel, but this will take many years to be available in the quantities needed to offset growth. So the technological improvements are much more limited around aviation than they are for shipping, so we need to look at other options. One of them is to use emissions trading, where cuts to CO2 are delivered by other sectors rather than within aviation itself. But we could also look at reducing the number of flights to cut CO2 or the distance travelled, and this could make an important contribution. And this is key, because the Paris Agreement requires we urgently reduce CO2 emissions across all sectors. And if the technologies that we have and things like trading are insufficient, then it is essential that we at least debate the demand side of the aviation CO2 challenge.